Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. I was just thinking back to when I was a child, so many long years ago. I didn't know that snow contained acid rain, so I ate it. When I was a child, I didn't know that red cherries and fruitcakes contained red dye number 2, so I stuffed myself with them. When I was a child, people didn't start putting Christmas decorations up in October. Instead, we put the tree up on Christmas and made popcorn garland to trim it and loved every minute of it. When I was a child, we didn't know that live Christmas trees were a fire hazard, so we covered our trees with bright lights and homemade decorations and watched it for hours. When I wrote letters to Santa, I didn't know you had to mail the letters 3 weeks before Christmas just to make sure they got there on time. In fact, I always wrote Santa just a couple days before Christmas and dropped it in the mailbox with no postage. When I was a child, people weren't afraid to open their doors to anyone, so we went caroling in the snow and got cookies, hot chocolate, and warm thanks from everyone. When I was a child, I didn't know you had to have a license for your new bicycle, or that you couldn't leave it alone a minute without someone ripping it off. So I rode it around the neighborhood and left it on the sidewalk when I visited my friends. Try that today. When I was young, no one told me that Santa Claus was a barbarous operation that demoralized children with delusioning promises. So I believed. When I was a child, I didn't know that apples from trees contained insecticide, so I picked them right off the limbs and sunk my teeth right into them while the juices ran down my chin. Back in those days, we didn't know that praying or talking about God in the schoolroom was a violation of anyone's rights, so we read the passage of the Christmas story from St. Luke and everyone listened, even if they didn't believe. I didn't know back then my broomstick horse was a hazard, or that my cap gun was dangerous, or that my top was painted with toxic paint. So I rode 'em and shot 'em and spun 'em, and I was filled with joy. I didn't know that setting up a manger scene with Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus down by the courthouse was something that made people angry. So we did it every year, and folks came from miles around to look and wonder while their eyes glistened with tears. I never knew when I was a child that Christmas could be hazardous to your health, so I basked in the wonderment and excitement of it all. How sad to grow up.